Hi, this is Gary Heslin. We've already spoken of uninsured motorist coverage. Today we're going to be speaking of underinsured motorist coverage. Let me make the distinction first. One is uninsured motorist coverage. Today we're going to be talking about underinsured motorist coverage. Now, just like uninsured motorist coverage, this underinsured motorist coverage is protection for you, your family, and friends that are in your car. In my opinion, this insurance is so important that everyone who buys auto insurance must include underinsured motorist coverage in their policy. Now, unfortunately, this is an optional coverage, and that means while an insurance carrier has to tell you about this coverage and has to offer you this type of coverage, they do not have to sell you this type of coverage. My honest opinion is that a lot of insurance carriers don't want to sell you this type of insurance. Why? First of all, it's cheap. You don't have to pay much for the insurance. Therefore, they're not going to make much on the insurance. And they still have a situation where they might have to pay out a lot of money if you make a claim. Now, how does this work? Let me give you an example of one of my clients. A mother is driving her two children to school. It's about 8:30 on a weekday morning. Suddenly, a driver coming in the opposite direction leaves his lane and runs into them head on. The mother and the two children all have to be medevaced and taken to the hospital. They're seriously injured. As it turns out, the driver of the car is under the influence of illegal drugs. Eventually, he is going to be tried, convicted, and sent to jail. Now, we did have auto insurance, but he had the minimum amount of insurance necessary to drive in the state of Pennsylvania. That means he had $30,000 worth of insurance, and that insurance was all that might have been available to cover the injuries for this poor mother and her two children. What were they going to do? This man was in jail. He had no job. He had no assets. He was a junkie. He had no prospects for getting a job or having any assets. Luckily, this family had underinsured motorist coverage. And how does this work? They had purchased $300,000 of underinsured motorist coverage from their insurance company. They paid less than $50 a year for that coverage. And what happened was, a claim was made against their insurance company, and their insurance company paid $300,000. In other words, their insurance company agreed that their injuries were worth at least $300,000, and the insurance company paid them the money. Now, without that, they would have never gotten any more than the $30,000 that was available to this junkie's insurance carrier. Now, the sad thing is, there are a lot of people out there that are driving with the minimum amount of insurance. As a matter of fact, you probably are familiar with and have heard advertisements on TV for insurance companies that are saying to people, we can make you legal for less. What that basically means is the insurance carrier is selling people the minimum amount of insurance necessary to drive. Again, that's only $30,000. That's why I say that if you're purchasing insurance, you must purchase underinsured motorist coverage, and you should purchase as much as you possibly can afford. Thank you, and I'll see you again next time.